So, welcome back, everyone. We are back with another round of F1 My Team 1970. This is going to be round 6 of the series, the British Grand Prix in Brands Hatch. Not gonna share too much information about this track. Most of you know it anyways. It's one of those legendary tracks, so not much to talk about in terms of the track. However, what we have to talk about is upgrades, because it's always nice to bring new upgrades to a race. And since the team is financially pretty stable at the moment, we got some aero upgrades for better turning, better handling, less drag in general, and other teams have brought some further reliability improvements. We'll see how well that's going to work. And it's also a big day for Lotus, as the new car will make its debut today. So this is where Lotus 72, the legendary wedge-shaped car, is making its debut. And as you can see, it works quite well for the team. Fittipaldi and Rindt placed 1-2 during the qualifying, and they did so by quite a margin compared to the Ferraris of Jackie X and Clay Regazzoni. Rodriguez starting from 5th in the BRM, Denny Hulme in the McLaren from 6th, and I'll be starting from P7. That's the best qualifying result I had in the season. We'll see how that translates into race pace. That remains to be seen. Eamon P8, Jackie Stewart P9, Beltoise, the championship leader, on P10, Graham Hill 11, 12 Francois Sever, 13th Stommelen, 14th Andretti, 15th Ronnie Peterson, 16th Sifford, 30th 17th Pescarolo, 18th, not a good day for the Matra again, Jackie Oliver in the other BRM, only 19th, massively outqualified by his teammate. Eaton 20, Brabham 21st, the Adamic 22nd, and Miles 23rd. Again, two drivers are missing from the grid, same two as in the previous race. They just don't seem to exist in the mod, so it remains as it is. Right. So we have a pretty interesting race ahead. We'll see how long I'm going to last. But before that, quick look at the current standings. Beltois still in the lead of the championship with 27 points. Jackie X second with 20. Myself third with 14. Jackie Oliver fourth with 10 points. Sever fifth with 9 points. McLaren sixth with 7 points. Pescarolo seventh with 6 points. Eaton and Regazzoni are both on 4 points. Denny Hulme and Rolf Stommelen both sit on 3 points. Rodriguez, Jackie Stewart, and Joe Sifford 2 points each. And Peterson and Rindt 1 point each. So hopefully this new car will help Lotus with the previous reliability troubles, and the overall improvements will make an actual difference. That remains to be seen, but we hope for the best, and we'll see how this race is going to go. So I think it's time to do some racing. 80 laps, that's gonna be a tough one, even though it's a short track. Well, let's see what awaits. So here we go. This is what happens. Don't know how much will be heard. I am very risky starting somebody in the back of me. Obviously, we're expecting them super aggressive AI. Positions. Yeah, from step in front of me. Doesn't give good chances to get back. We're starting. Bit of wheel banging. Bunch of good cars ahead. Beautiful switch went by Jackie Stewart. Back behind, trying to chase the Ultra. Up ahead. That's Jean-Pierre Beltoise himself, championship leader. Some here that also is trying to do, yeah, that didn't exist. Getting the run. And Beltoise. But we're still somewhat superior in terms of straight line speed, so this is not the spot I'm going to catch him. However, as I said, we had some upgrades in terms of and also we got the better trap in the corners. Trying to move side by side. Bit of contact that's expected to stop up this early. So up to P8 and he hits me in the back. Should try and shake his tips behind me. Side, back to B8. Could be enjoyable battle with the championship leader. Taking the inside. And Japan is catching up to, I think that's harming the McLaren. That's not a McLaren. let's read some messages. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. Let me fix this real quick. So hopefully the sound should be much better now. Somehow with the engine upgrades, we also had an increase in noise levels. And it's even super loud on the headset. Oh, lost the back a little. Again on the inside. Could have gotten a much better exit if I don't mess up the previous corner exit. Keeps trying to shove me off the track. No car sound. Well, this went really well then. I'll fix it next time around. You'll be my sound checker, Jan. So, and I increased this a little bit. And hopefully it's better now. I tried to talk a wee bit louder too. Yeah, so as for this mod, this is basically the 1970 mod that we're going to use in the league. But I just converted it to AMS. Obviously, I'm not expecting, I don't want to move over to AMS because I don't expect anyone to buy it or just download a 20 plus gigs game for shits and giggles. It's getting the run on me once again. Right, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm going to try and talk louder. Beltoise is really going for it. So hopefully we can put Eamon between us somehow. That's going to help me out a little bit with him.
So much turning and no power steering. I'm going very tired by the end of this race. I was kind of expect that he's going to go back. So I'm going to make a dive bomb into the hairpin. Not the smartest thing to do, but if it works, it works. You already have the first lapped car ahead. The first car that's about to be lapped. It's Miles. And now they're gonna get held up a little behind him. Which allows me to open a gap. Start, preferably, start going after Hall, who himself seems to be stuck behind the back marker. Morgadovich just not passed. I think I saw the back marker there. Last corner. Which means it's not the time I'm going to catch Hall.
Why did I skip Monaco?
Well, because... So normally we skip Monaco because of AI stupidity. This wasn't it. In fact, the AI was actually really good. But after 28 laps, everyone's engine blew. And that wasn't something that I could fix in the long term, except maybe turning off mechanical gears. But I didn't want to do that, so I just decided to skip Monaco. Best place to lap someone. Let's grab him, I guess. Yep, it's him. Here I was thinking that's gonna be Hall in front, but that's two other back markers. Namely Ethan. And the damage. So that's done. That's sorted. Going to get a better clean air now. However, I'm not gaining anything from Tom. In fact, I'm still losing to him. So hopefully he gets stuck behind a bunch of track markers that would help me massively, not like this. Let's see if I can get within 10 seconds to on. Keep losing a lot to Hom. So my only hope for points will be attrition. At least I have a better gap to Beneteau has. Bit of the is nice. No idea whether I should them up either. I'm not sure what's going on with Mascalero. His teammate is basically almost right behind me. That's a little concerning. Because I want to go for a Matra chassis next season. That's gonna be the LM chassis, the Cosworth engine. I absolutely agree, and this Cars Ducati is one of the reasons I decided to choose this era, this series. Plus, it's a little more realistic to have a privateer team in 1970 than, let's say, early 90s. I mean, there's been still a few, but that was just different. It's not the same as this, where you have a bunch of manufacturer teams and lots of privateer and customer teams. But basically, most of the grid is using BRM chassis, Cosworth engine. Bonjour, Johan. Somebody is about to get left for the second time. Meanwhile, I'm also getting close to being led by Rind. Already a minute ahead. So for now, it seems like that those upgrades for the Lotus, well, or not the upgrades, the actual brand new car for Lotus has been an absolute hit, as Rin has commanding lead, even compared to Jackie X in second place. He's 10 seconds ahead of him. Hello. So I don't think I'll be able to make it to the points unless something happens. One of the front runners. Just losing time against Tom. And, well, pretty much everyone else in front. But he gets 23 seconds ahead. We just don't talk about the rest. 40 plus second gaps. At this rate, I'll be easily led by at least twice. Unless Lotus reliability strikes again and finishes him off. As so far, it's been proven one of the most reliable things. Great place to be, mate. Right, I'll stop reading some messages after.
Can you show the standings after the race? Show, we'll see how that works, because last time I tried that it didn't work. Instead of showing the window, it just gave a black screen. But from the top of my head, I can tell you that it's Beltoise leading with 27 points. I think Fittipaldi maybe. No, Jackie X second on 20 points, and I'm third with 14. That's
remember from the top of my head. As we scored 2 second places in the 5th. And the one who really needs the points is Lind, as he has 1 point and a bunch of unfinished races. So hopefully now the reliability is going to work as intended. We'll see about that. I had to change quite a few things to try and make the AI last longer. So the way things look at the moment, the field is very heavily spread out. 72 is, as of yet, looks absolutely unbeatable. Yeah, that's Peterson up ahead, about to get lapped. And there's someone instead of the track. I think that's a first. Didn't lap Peterson before. It would be lovely if we lap the group. Thank you. That's Miles basically pretty much stopped on the border exit. He's going to get left by Ronnie in 15th place, so Miles is having an amazing race so far. I would imagine that he's driving with some sort of issue. Stommelen did in France. The difference being he doesn't seem to hold up everyone, like Stommelen did. Yeah, the back markers are kinda clean, but it takes a lot of tweaking to get the AI to a level where it's actually raceable. Otherwise, it's usually, even if you lower the aggression as much as you can in this game, it's basically just scaled to medium high. So even if you do that, it remains overly aggressive. So you need to tweak some more settings to make it make them less dangerous to themselves and to you. In my opinion, the way it works, that this game was basically made with touring cars and H1's racing in mind in the first place. And what the AI does is perfectly suitable for that. Formula racing, not that much. Especially if you use like mods instead of. So basically, the way it looks is there are lots of default Formula series that are always very clearly a rip-off of an actual era of Formula 1. And there are mods that are reskins for that to make it real, and then there are actual mods that most of them are conversions from R-Factor. That's where the problems really start. The AI can be really, really bad on those. Meanwhile, on the default series, they're actually pretty good. I would call them very safe, but it's kinda fun to race against them. Perfect place to spin in front of me, babe. Okay, so I just had a fourth ground moment. After Oliver nearly spinning in front of me, and right behind him it's already Johan Vent, which means I'm going to get lap latest halfway through the next lap. Getting lap would be 7 months. Quite something. You're supposed to let me go. Thank you. It's probably the first time I actually saw a backmarker getting out of my way. So as I said about the mods, this one is a conversion. I converted this myself. It can be quite tricky in the AI. There comes Sven. Lost quite a bit of time trying to let it go. Come on, I don't want to run myself. Hey, you idiot! And now this is going to get interesting. Why is he stopping in front of me though? Well, I got quite a bit of suspension damage. So that's much about the clean back markers. It just stops the car in front of me. I was hoping that it's going to stay in the middle, so Green can go from the left and I can go through from the right. then it would slightly to the right and basically stop the car. Thank you very much.
Well, that's why I never drive behind lapped cars unless I have to.
Well, I couldn't really go anywhere because Green was also slower there. And he was trying to lap him from the left. So I was hoping that I could just go through on the right. And then just both of us be on our way. But then he kind of moved in towards the left, towards the right. So I had nowhere left to go. And the brakes on these cars are not as good that I can just slam it and it's going to stop the car before I hit him. But that's not too bad. This damage is still manageable. Thankfully there are not too many left turns on the track. And I think that's Jackie X coming up to lap me. Very nice. Lotus and Ferrari are in their own leagues today, at least they're lead drivers. And then X, meanwhile Fittipaldi and Regazzoni are not doing bad either. Fittipaldi running third and Regazzoni fourth. And I'm getting blue flag. This cost me lots of time again. Yeah, sometimes there are just misunderstandings between front runners and back markers when they lap each other. I mean, at the end of the day, we're just a bunch of idiots who like to drive big cars. And it's not like most of us who are driving these leagues or streams like this that are professionals. So, yes, mistakes are part of the deal. Sometimes just doing something really stupid. I'm pretty good at that. Happens to me quite often. That's a nice bunch of back markers back together. I don't think he was expecting me to send it, but I just did because I can. Because I'm trying to get some gap between Peltoas and me, because he's getting too close for comfort. That That's Fittipaldi coming up to lap this back of Gentleman. Yeah, pull it in front of me. Because they don't send me. Actually trying to race me. Why would you do that? So sometimes they're not that clear. As Surtees just tried to race me on the straight. And just did the fastest lap, 28.9. I think that's, if I remember correctly, that's pretty close to the actual iron out lap time. So hopefully I'll have a better pace now. The lap. Yeah, so Rodriguez and Tom are quite far from lapping me yet. But at some point in the race that will also happen.
You were in a corkscrew.
What have you done? I mean, I didn't watch that whole race. I joined relatively late and I did some other stuff. I just know that you actually pulled off a class win, which is very nice. So congrats once again. And I saw some madness going on, especially when faster classes had slower ones on track. Nobody really seemed to know how to behave in those situations. And there's also been quite a good bunch of familiar names there, so it was interesting to watch. At least what I saw from it, what I actually watched. And for a change, it was nice to listen to someone doing a commentary who can actually talk, which is something I haven't seen in league racing for quite a while now. So that's an additional plus. Yellow flag, and that's okay, he's back. But Fittipaldi was shown outside the track. Not sure what happened there. Bob is warning out. soon I'll be also led by Ragazzoni. Saw him coming down the straight as I was taking the hairpin. Right, which way, Brabham? Yeah, try easy. Thank you very much. That's what I wanted to ask you. The laps fly by. If you make these ones, well, it's a short track. And I honestly enjoy this a lot more if I just talk to people while doing this. Otherwise, especially like this where there's not much happening in terms of fighting for positions, so it would be pretty boring to just be walking into thin air. And that's why I like doing 1980 in Yura as well, because like if you watched that at some point we were talking about Eurovision mid-race. So it makes it easier to take these 80 laps, especially because you know these races are somewhat longer than the modern ones. I think if I remember correctly, like modern Spa is what 45 laps or something. And then you have 24 laps on the original version, which is about 3 times the size. Which basically makes it what? So 28 laps time 3. That's basically like a 70 something laps race on the layout. So I'm pretty sure that some of the drivers would enjoy a race like that on Spa. 70 laps. Because most of them love that track. Who doesn't love Spa? And now, regardless which layout we're talking about, overview. So he's been at the track. What's going on in front? I think those two are actually battling. Thank you, screen freeze. Exactly. Like when I tried to think. So P13 is letting P20 be. Now here we have a completely mixed bag of cars. P13, P18, P10. Let's see who's going to let me pass. But if he wants to do so. Kind of forced my way through that. Now it's Pescarolo right behind, lost lots of time again with this. somehow I seem to lose more time behind back markers than Pescarolo does. Beltoise is super. Pescarolo is over there. He's one of the lapped cars. Then P17. And Beltoise definitely found some pace. As I can see him already. So I need to try and push even harder. Really don't want to end up battling him again. That should hopefully help me a little bit. Or it did not. So I really need to start pushing. So I think now I'm back to a more comfortable kind of gap on Beltoise. It's stupid. That's Stewart out of the race. When, where, why, that I don't know, but he's out of the race. I know that. That's unfortunate for him. What's more unfortunate, that's a car behind me, not in front of me. So I'm not going to gain anything out of that. So we're almost halfway through the race. And it's only one DNF. So all the tweaks that I need to help the AI with not blowing up might actually end up helping. Still got more than half the race, so that remains to be seen, but for now, at this moment, it looks promising. Somehow I'm still one lap by the Mazzoni. Meanwhile, I'm not being prepared to assist the backup. Oh, there comes Ragazzo, so soon I'll be lapped by him as well. Lane 28.6 fastest lap. It's going to absolutely destroy the entire today. That's it. I'm going to lap at least 3 if not 4 times by him. Yes, I agree. I'd like to have a DNF ahead. So we need to get into the point. So currently the one that's losing back this one is Belgoaz. This is out of the points. And this lead to Jackie X is rapidly melting. Let me go, maybe. Yeah, they are pretty much endurance races. They're much longer than they are nowadays. I honestly can't imagine what the average driver would live through. I mean, safety as such is non-existing. Plus, there's no power steering, no aids, nothing that would make a driver's life easier while driving around these coffins on wheels. So, no, I think that this has been an entirely different team racing and racing drivers who competed in this era. Those were basically 50s, 60s, 70s, even to the 80s to some extent. Compared to this, that's really modern. And I don't really want this. That's only 10 years away from us.
Worst brake mechanical failures, yes.
That we didn't talk about accidents. And various very interesting ways teams handle things. Obviously, aerodynamics has been in a very early stage at this point in time. I think contact because my car is going straight again, so it doesn't. That. So lack of aero, nobody really cared about it either. You know the famous saying, aero is for those who can build engines. So it was a thing to just have power tracks like Monza to remove them quickly, which made the cars fast, but also very unstable, which ultimately costed Johan Rindt his life. Hi, Gokhan. So, yeah, as I said, this is something entirely different from what we know today. I'm glad that we have the technology that you can actually sit down and watch these. Or a couple of channels where you can watch the actual broadcast from like, I think 75 onwards, even some from even earlier. Oh, I mean the points, Halm is out of the race. Oh, thanks Jan, I didn't notice. So you can watch even some earlier races, but it's like there's no commentary on it, or at least it's not mixed properly. Talking about fucking early 70s technology. So you basically just have the actual engine sound with the occasional writing popping up on screen who's in what position. That's an actual Formula 1 broadcast from 1970. Nothing like when a lap car is trying to hit you. Or succeeded in killing me. I think he panicked under the blue flag. Now I got SW 2 points again. He definitely found some speed. And that's still not necessarily what well to us. And I feel like we're going to have an epic battle for the last position. That was very smart from Belfast for me through, instead of getting stuck behind the guy there. So we need to start pushing a little harder again to put a bit of a gap between us again. Don't like when his desk is because Matra is, despite whatever I did, still a far superior car to us. The only thing I did is got some better turning. We're still pretty shit in terms of straight line speed. As you can see, both of us is about to be lapped by Rodriguez in time. Here he will be able to get back to me quite a bit. So we got a second again. And we're going to lap P11. That's Graham Hill. Well, at this rate, it's going to be interesting remaining 32 laps. Lapping up twice already, so it's only 78. Looking at ring space, it's going to be at least one lapping more for the entire field. Alberto has started pushing for real and get him out of the 1 second range. Always catch these guys in the worst possible spots. This time it seemed that Red was had the same trouble. not also much faster than Hill. That's a very chaotic lapping. Getting the blue flags, one more, still minus behind. And that's Rodriguez on P5 about to lap me. Still nice behind. Gonna break early. You do you. So the top 5 is definitely playing in a different league today. That's P3 coming up. That's pretty faulty. Still even behind, so he's going to lap P5. That's no different than Lotus. In case it wasn't obvious. But difference in pace. And that's Vesca right ahead. Doesn't he get left like a front runner's not gonna do as well. Well, I mean, B6 on pink for the front runner right now. That one is going to have something behind at the end. It's going to stress me. There'll be if there is yellow flag, that's an engine blown up. That's Stommelen if I saw it correctly. Doesn't smell good. Come on guys, it's blue flag. Both should let me go. Thank you. I'll make sure you keep red aspect. At least keep him occupied. A good couple of seconds. I think they do that just fine. What? Right, apparently it's a little quiet. Well, that's because at the start of the race it was super loud. my ear, it still is. Gonna be pretty deep by the time I finish this. Okay, not sure what's going on with Bertoaz. He was right behind me at the hairpin exit, and he just disappeared. I think he might be out of the space. That's unfortunate, because I kinda enjoyed the battle that we had going on. If he's really out, then yeah, he's out. Oh, too bad. That means that for the remainder of this race, it's gonna be fairly boring. Unless Sever doesn't get a second win, starts driving real fast. Because I'm not gonna be anywhere close to anyone on P5 and upwards. I'm a lap down. Squeeze everyone else in the east. In fact, I'm 2 laps down. It's pretty holding. Fastest lap again. So the Lotus 72 is clearly making a mark. So do the Ferrari upgrades, though nothing near the same extent as the new Lotus. That is basically diving forward everyone. Surtees trying to fight me back. And the yellow flag that someone P8. Didn't see who that was. That's out of the race. Even that's unfortunate. So attrition is kicking in again. Hopefully it's gonna be more bearable than it was in previous races. At least some of us will make it through. Some of us it's not really. I wouldn't mind something to happen to Rodriguez. Engine failure or something. So we could get more than a single point. I actually don't want anything to happen except me. Because the first race, when this season is looking anywhere close to realistic, steadily keep Sever 30 seconds behind. That means that we've got what? 25, so we've got 23 laps remaining. I don't think it will be anywhere close. And we're about to have Ethan once again. Really sad about the legit misfortune that Beltois had. This could have been a pretty interesting last 20-30 laps. Now it's gonna be quite far from that. It's gonna be the racing game that remained in this race. So now all we need to hope for is that the car will be able to pick up. Cars brakes leads them to give a little too much of comfort. But that's because some idiot forgot to adjust the brake pad, which is also the reason that you don't see me braking real hard. Trying to keep these things alive without working them. Also using lots of engine brake. Now we stop this thing. Of P21, and I think the race leader is out. Just saw him outside the track on the hairpin on the map. You know, this is going to spice things up. Yep, that's Johan out of the race. And I'm up to P5 in 2 months' time. That's Jackie X taking the lead. That's really unfortunate for the Lotus, as it seems that the reliability problems have still not been sorted out. Oh. Did I downshift the burst? Yeah, it's good for me, but it was like 2 or 3 laps ago when I said that I'm glad that finally things look remotely close to what it was like in reality. Now it's just this. So we have 4 or 5 DNFs with, well, the way things look like, it's what, 60. So with about 19 laps to go, that's hoping that Exort Fittipaldi may the pace. Otherwise, that's an extra lap for everyone. I just sent it from Siberia. As we have to travel once again. So that's 20 laps to go at best. 18 at worst. 20 at worst, 18 at best. 29 was 18 at best. Thankfully, it's not as rough as 70 something laps in Long Beach as we did with Miura 1980 season. And now 5. And then just break. Thankfully, these cars don't mind if you try to slide to a corner. That's Peterson about to get lapped the second time by me. So currently, I'm pretty much past the rest. He was going to do that.
Yeah, so yes, I am pretty high in the championship. I'm sitting third, just a couple points off, well, 6 points, 6 points off of X. However, he's going to pull away today if the car lasts. That remains to be seen.
Otherwise, I need to do further improvements to their reliabilities, which I already thought I sent it through the roof. And these engines will take everything. Seems like I was wrong. They still blow up just like any other. And yeah, so that's the final bits of the race. This is where attrition starts kicking in for real. So a bit more retirements are expected than so far. Where am I going? Jackie Oliver, we had a great battle in France. Now I just lap him. But it was a great battle in France, and it was a very scrappy one too. He kept hitting me, I spun him around, retaliation. So I don't think we're the best of friends. Now he was very kind and just let me go. Stewart, Palm, Stommelen already out of the race. We'll soon see the rest. In the meantime, Yasu, Peltoaz, and Pesca. Still a relatively tame list of DNFs compared to previous races. So this might be the way to go. I finally found a sweet spot that keeps the AI drivers alive on a somewhat larger scale than before. But we still have a good couple laps as we go around Ethan. laps to go. That's point, all I need to do is take it easy and get back home. All those two are bad, but they're not. One is not and the other is 8. So, no battling going on. So one is ready. I don't think I lapped him this easy. Kind of disregarding me. This guy definitely has an engine issue. That engine sounded really weird. He's slowing down. Yeah, he's slowing down a lot.
Well, do you have any favorite driver from this era? Well, I actually happen to have quite a few from this era. One of them being Johan Rindt.
Obviously, from a little later, Niki Lauda. Because who doesn't like good old Niki? Also, Jackie Stewart, one of my absolute favorite drivers. Not only because he's Scottish. I think somebody just spooked there. Just broke really hard. Not sure what that was. Yeah, that's definitely a curtain of smoke. Yeah, that car is puffing smoke up ahead. So I should lap that before he explodes in my face. I think it's coming from this car on P16. No, it's not. But it's either Andretti or the car ahead of him. Is it P10? Surtees. Yeah, that's definitely coming from Surtees' car. Well, so at this point, that smoke doesn't seem too bad, too extensive, so he might just be able to do a few more laps with it, see this race out, and saw the AI doing almost 20 laps with an engine like this. Slow down real hard. Let's chase down on Bradley. Lap him so I can say that I also lapped everyone up until P8. Well, at this rate, I might even lap Sever. This is so far behind. Probably not a long time left.
X and Pierce courage.
Yeah, I mean, Jackie X is legendary by his own right. mean, throughout his career, he did so many things in motorsport that, and I know you like cars with roofs, so and Jackie X has been pretty iconic in that as well. He never became a world champion in Formula 1, but he pretty much everything there was in the era. And I think he also won a Dakar rally in the 80s. I might be wrong on that, if I remember correctly. Courage, I honestly don't know too much about him, other than he's the guy that has a cool name. But yeah, I can understand why someone would be a fan of Jackie X. Also, he's also got a cool name, by the way. It's just weird to look at it when you see it written down. I have to say, Andretti is holding himself quite nicely on me. But this is the place for me to improve. He was trying to fight me. Yeah, then I remember correctly. He won the Dakar rally, so yeah, he just did so many things, and even in Formula 1 he was a pretty good name in his time, but like he won pretty much everything in sports cars and the endurance series as far as I remember. And I'm going to get lapped by Jackie. See? We were talking about him so much that he got summoned. That's actually pretty tall if I saw it correctly. Looked like a Brutus. Oh, that must be X. Yeah, that's X. So we're talking so much about him that he's just coming up to lap me. And there's Green Fittipaldi as well. So I'm just going to let both of them through here. So not much Andretti is going to do to me, so I don't mind that. So that means that we've got 7 laps remaining. If things stay like this, and I hope they do, then Ferrari gets a double podium, which is something they really, really need. I think these guys had a bit of a trouble with the back markers. Not just a bit of trouble. I have trouble with them too. Just get out of me. And, okay, let me try and stay behind these. That looks like an interesting battle they have going on. And I don't think I have the pace to keep up with Ferrari Lotus, but I can try. And if I had the pace to keep up with them, I wouldn't be up 3 times already. That's still in the lead. Those two are pretty close. Yeah, I won't be able to keep up with them. Again, I wouldn't relap 3 times if I did. And that's Regazzoni coming. So that probably will be a three-way battle for a little behind, but still a good couple laps to go. So, we're nearing the end of the race, and it looks like the first and second is still not entirely decided yet.
What car and track combination you would like to see?
Well, that's a very interesting question. Like, can I say something from any era, any type of motorsport? Because then I think what good slab is just a second. So like 2000s Formula One car on the original Spa. That could be a very interesting combination, especially if that Spa is wet. You know what layout I'm talking about with us. Or the other way around, 1937 GP cars, one Albert Park, for example, because that's a fairly modern track. It doesn't exist in the old days, relatively old days, it's from the 50s. Some of you that might be old, to me it's not really. Or I don't know if that engine sounds weird. I don't know if it's been a thing because I'm not very familiar with DTM, but like mid-80s DTM cars from Monaco. I mean, knowing some of the organizations that might have been a thing, I just don't know about it. Like touring cars on a track like that, very, very off to me, at least. over the course of almost 20 laps, 7 per second is something unfortunate. Somebody give Guide Wise back. This could have been a very interesting last 20 something laps. Come on, mid, just get out of the way. I think that's 3 laps to go. And I have no grip. Thankfully it wasn't a big crash. Yep. Grip feels pretty much dead. That's funny because Tire Life is looking okay-ish. Second most beautiful skybox that you can see right here. So I think that should be my final lap. Yeah, that should be my last lap because I've been lapped by X 3 times. And by Fittipaldi as well. laps Siffert for good measure. Yep, this is over. Race done. 2 hours, 1 minute, 40 seconds. Ooh, this was hard. Thank you very much. Oh boy. This 80 lap races are no joke. So I actually did better than my qualifying lap, I think. No, that was 32 or something. And here we have the final results. That's Jackie X winning the race. Emerson Fittipaldi second in the remaining Lotus. Regazzoni third, so that's a double podium for Ferrari. They really need that, yes. Rodriguez fourth in the BRM, and myself fifth, and Graham Hill, no, Sever sixth. So here's the final point scorer. Tyrrell needs the points badly as well, as they haven't been doing very good races up until now. So that means that after this race, Jackie X will take the lead. Let me quickly do that. That's Fittipaldi scores his first points. Regazzoni collects a good couple points himself. Rodriguez, myself, and Sever, and the championship looks like the following. Jackie X is leading with 29 points, Beltoaz second with 27, as he bottled it this race. Myself third with 16 points, fourth is Jackie Oliver with 10 points, followed by Sever also on 10 points, though that should be the other way around because Sever has won a race. Regazzoni 6th with 8 points, Bruce McLaren 7th with 7 points, Pescarolo 8th with 6 points, Fittipaldi 9th with 6 points. He should be ahead of Pescarolo as well because he shouldn't. They have the same results, so that doesn't matter. Ethan 10th with 4 points, then Danny Halm, Rolf Stommelen, Pedro Rodriguez, all sitting on 3 points. Jackie Stewart and Joe Siffert on 2 points, and Ronnie Peterson and Johan Rindt on 1 point. Actually, Jackie Stewart should have 3 points, but that's my bad. I have them twice on the list. But that's just me being an idiot. It's okay. So yeah, we're doing pretty well for ourselves here. And with that, I think I'm going to end this. Let's have a quick look at the retirements. So that's 2 brake failures for Rindt and Stewart. So the Lotus engine actually worked, it held on. This time at the brakes that didn't. However, the rest of the guys suffered engine failures. However, there's still a lot lower attrition than in the previous races. So I think I can finally confidently say that I managed to fix this, and it might work more as it's supposed to compared to what it was like before. So I think I'm going to end this here. Thanks for watching and for sticking around, and I'll see you at the